following up on my last video where I ranted about obsession for like 3 minutes and how I feel like it clicked something in my brain. I feel like I have to kind of talk about this other thing, which was really what I should have talked about in another video. And I don't know if I'll put that video up, so I sound crazy if I didn't. But I made another video. I was talking about obsession, and really the thing is that I remember also reading this other interview about Martin Scorsese and how he said that at like 70 or something, however old he is, in his later years, this was around the time when he's making gosh, I forgot the name of the movie, but the one with the with oil, the Native American movie. I feel so bad about not memorizing the name of the movie, even though I'm such a big fan. But um, I remember he's talking about how now at his age he finally understands films. He finally understands films in a way that he never did before and how to make it much more masterfully. And some people read that and they're like, ugh, whatever. Like this guy's just, just saying these things and hyping up his movies. But I don't think that's what he's doing. I think people like real auteurs like him and Tarantino, they're giving their opinion on film and to just dismiss it because they're waning in fame and not really waning. This is more filmmakers and more niche filmmakers, but like to say that I don't think that's true. I think they're real artists and some of these things are a bit more subjective in their from their point of view, but some of these things are things that you should take and digest into yourself. And for me, what I talked about in my last video that connects with this point is the fact that watching Curry Barker and especially this guy who made skits on YouTube now making Obsession, I felt like there's something that clicked with me that was more subjective in the way I should make films and movies, which was turning these ideas of like skits or taking these very like these really scenes honestly of what would be very very entertaining either because they have really great drama or really good comedy or really good horror, and then kind of expanding upon that and then making a film. And for me, I think that's now this thing that's clicked, kind of like how something clicked in Marcus Scorsese when he made I think Kills the Flower Moon. Now something's clicked in me where now I memorize not sorry now I know how to make a film. At least I think I do. Obviously, classes in college are helping and whatnot, but something's clicked where now it's like I have this unique view into my brain where now I know why or how I'll take a movie and really build it. Obviously, I have ideas for films. Who doesn't? Obviously, right? There are a bunch of jack-offs in my school that have ideas for movies, right? But really making something that's good and really amazing. And also there are other ways to make films amazing and good and unique. But something about I think for me that resonates in my mind, which is like having a scene or idea for a movie, and with one particular scene, and then taking that focal point, interest point, or it can be multiple scenes, or in also like songs. Like I'll drive around listen to music, and then like this is like kind of the thing for my movie, and then expanding upon that this wonderful like tapestry. It's kind of like when you draw. At least when I draw, I focus on this one single point that I feel like is the most helpful for me in my brain, and then drawing upon that. Obviously, there are good ways to draw, bad ways to draw. You have to have depth. You have to have certain degree of symmetry. You have to have things. You have to have shading and shadowing. You have to make things look. If you're drawing a face, you have to make things look human, which have certain curves and lines. But there's a subjective point of where do you start. I mean, it can be subjective depending maybe upon on like your canvas and how you're holding it, your left hand or whatever. You know what I mean? But like but some things are subjective, and I think that and when I think about what Scorsese said, and now that I'm saw Curry Barker's film and this guy be making skits, and now it felt like an extended version of a skit to me in my eyes, and I think this topic of this unique lens. I feel like this is what people talk about when they talk about like lens and how you view films and how you see films. I think for Tarantino, he says when he thinks about a movie starts off with a song, and I think that's such a I think now it's starting to resonate with me. Where I'm not just I understood that before with the music stuff, and it was auditorially speaking, it made sense. But now I'm starting to see it now visually and also thematically and writing, and now it's really starting to sink in. Where now I could see myself really becoming this wonderful filmmaker. Not to say that I could make a film as good as Obsession, but I can really now see myself making a solid movie, like a movie that's like a solid like B on like Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, and Rotten Tomatoes sometimes rating can be kind of weird, but because sometimes it could be like fresh could be like 60%, and then you could have like a bunch of people rated at 60%, and that's 80%, whatever. You know what I mean? But I feel like I make an honest to God like rule like 80% on a movie, whatever. You know what I mean? Like a real like B, like how you get in class, you get like B in a class. Like I could get a solid B on a movie. Before I'm like, maybe more like a C minus. If I'm being honest. Maybe like a B if I'm B minus if I'm being like I have a really good teacher. But now I feel like I can really like a solid B plus if I have really good like producers and people with me on my team. And now I feel like it's starting to really digest. And I just wanted to talk about this topic of like the unique lens in which you see art and taking the knowing how to create a strong bifurcation between the subjective side of film and the more objective side of film, or even art, and then knowing how to play with these two, and knowing where it lies, and then knowing how to use these two together to create awesome art. And I feel like that's the thing I want to talk about really, and with you guys in the comments section, because I feel that's not talked enough, and it has to be. So, yeah, this is me coming out here and saying that. Jesus, it's something I really wanted to talk about, especially after yesterday when I rewatched Obsession and a bit of Backrooms, and I saw this movie with Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas, and they're fantastic movies. And not enough people saw that movie with Nick Jonas and Paul Rudd. It was really fantastic. You should. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. It was pretty good. I like the one scene in particular when he started singing in the beginning of the film. Well, Paul Rudd started singing in the beginning of the film, and then it turned into like a concert. That was a really pretty good scene. I liked it a lot. And Paul Rudd's a great singer. I mean, he's a really good. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he has a band in real life. You know how some of these actors or artists really have these other artistic endeavors. But yeah, but my video's getting too long. I don't want to just pour over it. This point multiple times. I want to let you guys go. It's just that like I really want to talk to you guys about this. I will be creating I might create a subreddit. I'll definitely create a Discord. But you can talk in the comment sections for now. You can follow my IG. Whatever, all that